All right, we are live. Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you this evening with a special live examination. I'm being joined by Mr. Ian Furkeron. He's out in Pennsylvania. Cheers to you, Ian. And I've got Mr. Michael Kormeroff, the Beer Baron. He's from Brooklyn, New York, and he is down below me. Welcome, Michael.
Hello, everybody.
So, what we're doing this evening is we're looking at barrel-aged barley wines. And I think we've got some really good ones for you guys tonight. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'll start with Ian here. What are you bringing tonight for this examination?
I have the Lost Abbey from California, Angel's Share, which is a barrel-aged barley wine, 12.5%. I'm very interested in trying it. So it was a corked and clipped, so
very nice
and wired. So give it a pour. Well, no head at all. Definitely smells. Definitely has a nice nose. Definitely.
Cheers to Dio in the chat. All right. Why don't we? Okay, we'll go around real quick and just say what everybody has, and then we'll get right into it. Since we're starting late here, let's go back, or let's go to Michael and talk about what you've got.
Okay, this was actually gifted to me by John when he came up in late September, and it's from Treehouse in Massachusetts, and it's called Tree of Fortitude. It's an 11% barley wine, and it's barrel aged. And I'm not sure if it's bourbon barrels, but it may tell you somewhere on here.
It is bourbon. Yeah, it is bourbon barrel aged. It may also be rum barrel. It may be multiple barrels. I can't remember.
For sure, it's bourbon barrel aged.
Definitely bourbon barrel aged.
When I opened it, I could tell from. I'm going to pour it, and I'm using my Suntory glass, kind of slim glass. We'll see if that turns out to be good for a barley wine. I don't know. Let's see what's going on here with the pour. And let's see if I have any head. Ian did not. And I do. Kind of like a tan head, but it does seem to be, not, I don't think this head's going to stay very long. You guys have seen this kind of head where it comes out and it's very bubbly and it's already going away.
Right.
So not long lasting.
Okay.
I'll come back when it's my turn.
Sounds good. All right. So we'll just go. Yeah, let's go through here. So I've got from Founders. Never had this beer. Saw it the other day. I've been hearing good things about this. This is Founders ginger spice barreled and nice. It is a bourbon barrel, or it says barrel aged barley wine with ginger, cinnamon, and clove. And it says barrel aged. Huh. Okay. Ginger spice barrel nice is a barrel aged gingerbread ale that delivers all this. It's a bourbon barrel. Okay, bourbon barrel aged holiday flavor. I was going to say they didn't specify the barrels, but I knew I saw it. So it is a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. I believe this is a 2024. I believe this is a new release. I've never seen this before. This particular bottle was packaged on September 23rd, 2024. It's 12.8% alcohol. They don't specify how long bourbon barrel age it, but so it's a bourbon barrel aged barley wine with added flavors. And like I said, you're looking at ginger, cinnamon, and clove. So kind of like I don't know, that reminds me of the holidays, like Christmas and like gingerbread cookies and cinnamon, stuff like that reminds me of like Christmas and the holidays. But it was, it was bottled before Christmas last year, so maybe it was released in, for that purpose, to be a kind of like a Christmas barrel-aged barley wine. So anyway, I'll pour mine up. I'm blabbing a lot already. It's going to be a long night. I'll try to keep it more succinct here. Okay, so I'm just excited. Always good hanging out with you guys. So there you go. There's a pour. This is a much lighter. It looks. Wow, it's kind of like amber. There's like some reddish copper to amber color coming through there, going through the glass. And it's got a white, kind of creamy looking, one finger head. But there's a lot of sediment in this. I don't want to, if I hold it up you may be able to see that it looks like a snow globe.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff floating around in there. I mean, it looks like a snow globe. I mean, it's not any like super thick chunks or anything, but this is definitely not filtered. There are a lot of chunks floating around in here. Not big chunks or anything, but it looks like a snow globe. So we'll see. It smells very nice. We'll get back around to that. We'll go back around and start getting into these beers because I know we're all anxious to try them. So we'll start back with Ian. Let me pull you up and you can talk about your Lost Abbey Angel Share, 12.5%.
All right. The nose definitely has, you can smell the bourbon. Has a little bit of a chocolatey nose to it. So let's give it a swirl. Nice. So it's very smooth going in, but a little bit of a burn going down afterwards. But it's nice maltiness. Nice, there's not a lot of just nice bourbon flavor to it. Nothing crazy, but definitely has some nice flavors to it. Yeah.
Ian, is it boozy?
A little bit. But, it is a 12.5%.
Okay, so
yeah, I mean, it's. I would say I've had 12.5% that were more boozy, but so I would say it's appropriate for the alcohol. It drinks very well. I'll put that way. So, yeah. So, Michael, what's yours?
Okay, so as I predicted with the head, all that's left now is kind of like a slim, how the carbonation's coming up. So you're getting a small, very little, there's really no head left. It's just the remnant of the head in the carbonation at the top. And it did have a head when I poured it, but it went right away. And let me get a nose on it. The nose is all bourbon. And it's funny, I noticed on the bottle, John, it says contains coconut. So there's coconut in
here. Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, I can smell the coconut as well. But the bourbon smell is definitely stronger than the coconut smell. But it's like the coconut smell is more like in the background. The bourbon is the lead nose on this beer.
So, Michael, do you want me to read the description from the Treehouse website real quick, or would you rather try it first?
Sure. You could read the description, and then I'll try.
Okay. So, the Tree of Fortitude, it's their signature barley wine that has been barrel aged in a variety of flavored rum barrels between 14 and 20 months. And then it says, by implementing careful doses of vanilla, coconut, and lime, it carries flavors and aromas of sweet brown sugar, soft candied coconut, and a delightful underlying hint of lovely citrus. These rich flavors are a ticket to the tropics. So it's actually, you get the vanilla and the coconut that are added, which can kind of trick you into thinking it's bourbon barrel aged. But this barley wine that you're drinking is actually aged in rum barrels between 14 and 20 months.
Okay.
And the lime, I'm always curious because I remember the lime, it's got lime in it too. So I'm curious to see if you pick up on any of the lime.
Okay, so I think you're exactly right. The reason that the rum is resembling bourbon is because the coconut and the vanilla that's
in the vanilla. Yeah.
Because you have like that, you have the rum sweetness, but the other sweetness combined makes it seem more, bourbon-like in both the nose. Now I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm about to taste it. So
I'm
cheers.
so excited. Cheers. Get into it, Michael.
Wow, this is amazing. The taste is actually better than the nose.
That's awesome.
It's like you have a combination of all these flavors together. I can taste the rum now, which I couldn't tell that it was rum in the smell, but I can taste the rum because it's sweeter than bourbon. Very smooth. It's funny, you really can't taste the alcohol in this.
Wow.
So they've done a good job of masking the alcohol. Again, it doesn't taste like a session, but it doesn't taste like 11%. I'm getting the coconut. Maybe I'm getting a little bit citrus. That would be the lime.
Yeah, that lime. They put that lime in there. I thought it complemented the coconut. It was like a tropical, if there's any such thing as a tropical barley wine, I thought that fit the description.
This is amazing.
It's a subtle lime. It doesn't like interfere with the other flavors, right?
No, it's more of a background taste. But what's amazing about this is they've combined the flavors in a way that it makes it you want to take another sip. Really good. It's smooth. It goes down pretty easy. Obviously, your average macro drinker is not going to be drinking this, so it probably doesn't matter. But even if it was somebody who does like whiskey or does like, spirits, drinking this, I think they could get something out of it because the way that it's barrel aged makes it really appealing to somebody. So it's a well brewed barley wine. This is one of the better barley wines I've ever had.
Nice. I knew you would love that, Michael. I'm so happy you're liking
No, it's
that.
Wonderful, John. Really, thank you for gifting it to me. It's, it's top notch. It's and again, I haven't had any complaints about any of the Treehouse stuff. But this, it shows you that they can do other things other than IPAs, and they do a really good job with this barley wine. I mean, really good.
Nice. So you said it's not really, it obviously doesn't drink like a session, but you don't really find it to be too boozy for
No, as a matter of fact, if you asked me what I thought the alcohol was and I was, didn't know what it was, I would say it's more like in the 7.5 and 8 range.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, significantly lower.
They've done a really good job of masking it. So you can tell that it's a big beer. In other words, it's not like, this isn't something which everybody would get into, but for craft beer drinker, this would be something that would be, high on your list.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So yeah, we'll let you keep sipping on that, I guess. I'll go ahead and give you my quick rundown of the Founders Ginger Spice Barrel Aged and Nice. That's a mouthful. So I already took a little sip. I've been, smelling it, and I will say that the appearance is slightly off-putting. I'm in bad lighting here, so it looks okay. But let's see if I can give you the effect here. I don't know if yeah, actually, you see all the sediment floating around in there. There's a lot of stuff floating around. So the appearance is kind of, you're not used to this type of beer. It might be a little off-putting or whatever, but the aromas are fine. The flavors are fine so far. Michael, your phone, your camera.
I will pick it up again.
He was going to say, there you go. All right. So the appearance, if I was just judging it on appearance alone, not the best appearance. I mean, the color and the clarity is fine, but it's got that snow globe effect. The aromas, though, are really nice. You get the caramel, the toffee, the traditional, barley wine aromas that you're looking for, maybe a touch of dark fruit. And then the ginger, the cinnamon, and the clove are really coming through. I would say the ginger is probably, the most prevalent aroma that I'm getting. I mean, it smells kind of like a bourbon barrel aged gingerbread cookie in a lot of ways, which is not a bad thing. I'm not hating on that. It smells delightful. And cheers. The flavor. Let's get into the taste here. Yeah, much of the same. Kind of like a bourbon soaked gingerbread cookie. A little bit of like that allspice clove kind of flavor, almost like a Belgian type note that you get from like a Blue Moon or something that has that. I guess it's the clove. I'm not super familiar with clove other than in Belgian beers, I guess. It's really nice. There's maybe a touch of vanilla, but I would say the primary flavor notes are like caramel toffee, gingerbread cookie, like bourbon soaked gingerbread cookie, cinnamon, and a little bit of like the caramel toffee notes. It's actually for 12.8%, it's pretty light. It is slightly boozy on the finish, but the body is thin. It's not thick or viscous or anything. It's very, I mean, you can see through it. Other than the sediment and stuff floating around in there, it's very, very easy drinking. It's not like thick or heavy bodied at all. You really could just down this if you wanted to. I like this, but I'd much rather have like what Michael's having or Ian, just too many additives. I like a barley wine for the reason that it is a barley wine. You're getting the malt character, especially if you're getting a barrel aged version like this. I feel like all the additives, the cinnamon, the clove, the ginger, I feel like that takes away from the barrel aging. So if they didn't add any of that in there, I would probably be getting a lot more of the bourbon barrel. So my biggest complaint with this is I want more bourbon barrel, less sugar, spice, and everything nice, whatever they want to call it. I want the barrel. I want the barrel presence and the bourbon flavors. I want vanilla. I want maybe some dark fruit. I want, the oak. I want the woody presence. I'm not getting that because the additives, the ginger especially, that gingerbread cookie note is really sticking in the back of my palate. It's great. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that, but yeah, I wish that it wasn't so spiced. But it's very enjoyable. It's not super boozy. It drinks the body for a 12.8% beer. That's very, it's not thick, viscous. It's super sweet or super pleasant to get down. But yeah, I wish they had laid off of the spices a little bit and just focused more on the barrel aging process, because I think it would have been absolutely dynamite if the bourbon barrel was the first note that you got, and then the cinnamon and the other spices were kind of like an afterthought. So,
John, what's the carbonation like?
Very low, but it's there. It's got the carbonation of a country club malt liquor, like a cheap malt liquor. There is carbonation, but it's light. It's not flat, and there's no carbonation issues or anything like that. But it's definitely on the lighter side. It's not really prickly and in the back of my throat in any kind of way. It's on the lighter side, but it's definitely not flat. It does have some carbonation. Really quick, I wanted to get to the comments. We got Josh, last beer. He's talking about some barley wines that he's able to get. He's got a triple black barley wine from Anchorage, 16%. Deal with the Devil is 17.3. I haven't heard of any of these. So let's see. Oh, speak of the devil, we've got
Speak of the devil.
Josh in the chat here.
Cheers.
Hello, Josh. Are you? Oh, wow.
Cheers,
Excited,
everyone.
buddy. I hope you saved room, Michael, for another edition. We've got another barley wine joining us.
So yeah, I have one from Hermit Thrush. They're out of Vermont. Well, they're not. They actually closed down a few years back. But this is a barrel-aged sour barley wine.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
13%. So it says mixed culture barley wine ale aged in red and white wine barrels until tart and very dry. So yeah, 13%. So I've had this can for about two years now. So it's been in the back of the fridge. This can was, shoot, I think I paid $12 or $13 for this 116-ounce can. So it's a little little pricey, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. A barrel-aged sour barley wine, red and white wine barrels. So hopefully it's good. It smells like a sour.
All right, Josh. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you got the beer bowl. I love it. I'm sorry. What did you say the ABV was? I apologize. I missed out on the
13%.
13%.
Yeah. So yeah, but like a brownish, looks like a sour, like a brownish hue to it. Obviously no head. Smells like a wild ale, which is crazy. I don't know how this is going to be a sour barley wine.
I don't know. I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
I would drink. I'd try it. It sounds good. I like sours. I like barley wine. So
yeah, it smells like a wild ale, like exactly like if you got like a Three Fontaine or Cantillon,
or like a farmhouse, like a Hill Farm.
Yeah.
Something maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very wine based for sure. Nice sweetness. Definitely smells tart. So doesn't smell boozy at all at 13%. So like I said, it's been sitting in the back of the fridge for at least 2 years. So
oh wow,
we'll see how well it aged. So cheers.
Cheers, Josh.
Ooh, that's tart. It doesn't even taste like a barley wine. It tastes like a Berliner Weiss or something like that. Like a Berliner Weiss. I don't know how they. Yeah, it tastes like a. I don't know. Maybe it's. There's wine barrels definitely are coming through. Getting like dark fruit, like real tart, sour. I'm not getting like toffee or anything like that, like you would get from a barley wine. Doesn't drink like a 13%. Drinks more like a 7%. You know,
wow.
So it might be dangerous. There's no alcohol whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. I drink 2 or 3 of those. Think you're drinking like a kind of a double IPA situation. It turns out that you've fallen head over heels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Like I said, it doesn't taste. If you were to give this to me blind, I would have not guessed it's a barley wine. I would have said, "Oh, it's a
sour Berliner Weiss."
Yeah, or like a mixed culture type. It's just a weird concept. Mixed culture barley wine, like.
Yeah, I've never heard of mixed culture barley wine.
Yeah. Like I said, aged in red and white wine barrels until tart and very dry. It's definitely very tart and dry. This one's dangerous, though. Like I said, you're not getting anywhere close to 13% on this. Maybe 7 or 8, maybe. That's pushing it.
Interesting. It's interesting to me because it's like whoever the brewer is like kind of like, all right, we're gonna make a barley wine, but we're gonna like kind of screw screw you, barley wines.
Yeah,
like we're gonna do everything. We're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna age it in wine barrels. We're gonna mix ferment, like get some wild yeast, whatever we got to do. We're gonna make it taste nothing like a barley wine, but we're still gonna call it a barley wine and screw you, people. Like I don't know. It's a very like crazy. I've never heard of a barley wine with
barley wine.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. Or never had one. I'm sure they exist, but I've never had one before.
Yeah, so like I said, this brewery, they shut down probably about a year or two ago. They're out of Vermont. John, I don't know if you were in the room, but I paid $12 for this 16-ounce can.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Can you not see me? Did you have? Yeah, I'm here.
So on Untappd, they're saying big malt flavor with caramel and chocolate notes, which definitely not getting at all. Tangy flavor and Old Belgian secrets. A strong ale aged in various port, sherry, wine, or liquor barrels. Yeah, it's just a weird. It's a weird, like I said, it wouldn't blind taste test. I wouldn't say this is a barley wine. It's definitely mixed culture.
They're being rough on Beer Advocate on it, only giving it an 84. But again, these ratings are all subjective.
So regardless of style, like it's about like just if you didn't know what it was and you're just drinking the beer, would you say that it's like a really good beer? Like regardless of this, like if it wasn't classified as a barley wine, just as a beer overall, are you really enjoying it, or is it like
I'm enjoying it? Yeah, I mean, if you like tart and dry, yeah. And like I said, that ABVs mask very well. It's like I said, you gotta like that kind of like that because it's very tart. It's very dry on the finishing end of it. So if you're not into that, you probably wouldn't like it. But I enjoy stuff like that, especially like some of those. I'm sure you guys have had like those. They're kind of like those vinegar-based type, like sours, or not sours, but like
the acidic, really. Yeah. Gosh, what are those things?
Sometimes they're like very off-putting. Like I know, like Cantillon and Three Fontaine and stuff, they have that tartness and stuff.
Yeah, like that stuff. Some of the what are they called? The fruity beers that I've had have kind of like if you age them for a couple of years, they end up turning into like more of like an acidic type of thing.
Yeah.
The lambics, like if you age a lambic for 3 or 4 years, it kind of gets like a vinegar. I mean, you can pour it on a salad. It's like a strawberry vinaigrette type of thing, like But yeah, like some people like that. Like I like the acidic sour type beers. I don't typically think of like a sour fruity thing when I think of a barley wine. Yeah, but that's interesting that they did that. Maybe that's why the brewery went out of. They're not in business anymore because people are like,
no. They don't. I think they've had a lot of. Different styles that they've done and stuff like that. But yeah, like the other day I picked up, which is another weird concept. It's a smoked plum wee heavy at like I think it's like 10%, 12%.
We smoked like Scotch or wee heavy, yeah.
Yeah, smoked plum wee heavy. It's from like a brewery out of like Lithuania or something like that, and comes in like a small little can. I picked up a can. I haven't tried it yet, but
Michael knows all about the Lithuanian breweries. Those are like really hit or miss. You never know.
I can't get them anymore. The place I used
to really?
Yeah, John. If you like kind of like the sour that kind of not like the not really lambic style because they're not as fruity. But I popped a link in the chat on our chat in the StreamYard chat for called the Referend Brewery.
Oh, in the private chat, I see it. Yeah. Okay.
And they used to be in New Jersey, not like really close to Princeton, but now apparently they relocated to Kutztown. But I was at their original brewery site, and it was there was definitely they were definitely more on the sour side if you like the sour type style beers.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now that you sent me. It looks very similar to like the like Hill Farmstead in Vermont that we went to. Like a very similar. They brew a lot of like saisons, farmhouse, like like that type of thing, and they had like the horse blanket type of like feel to them with the different yeast that they use. Yeast that they use and stuff like that. Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
It would definitely be something we kind of need to go out. I mean, I haven't gone there, and like I haven't gone there in probably 10 years. Well, they opened in 2016. I probably went there shortly after they opened.
Okay.
So
nice.
So it's probably been 8 years since I've been there.
Okay.
So, might be interesting to go up there sometime.
Here's the one I was going to bring up, but I just don't feel like dealing with wax. But that's Stuffer from
Ancient Brewing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
it's a triple black barley wine.
Ooh.
What is a black? I don't even know what that means. Black.
So it's aged 20 months in a blended Buffalo Trace 6-year rye Hoffmeister. Cooperage, Heavy Char, 18-year Knob Creek and Wild Turkey bourbon barrels, 15%.
That's
gets a 4.65 on Untapped. I mean, they're not cheap. I paid $55 for this. Most of
that sounds fantastic. I mean, those are the bourbon barrels that you just mentioned are like top notch. So if they're aging in multiple top notch bourbon barrels like that for 12, would you say 12 to 18 months? What is it?
So yeah, aged 20 months in a blend of Buffalo Trace 6-year rye Hoffmeister.
Yeah.
18-year Knob Creek and Wild Turkey bourbon barrels.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Just transferring them all from barrel to barrel would be an operation.
Mm-hmm.
Justify just the labor alone would justify the price.
I mean, one of my favorites from them is actually coming out on my birthday, which is Monday. The bottle shop the bottle shop I go to. So there's Anchorage does one called Deal with the Devil. And that one's 17.3. That's a barley wine. That one is I forgot what that's aged in. I think it's probably aged in some. Let me look it up real quick. Deal with the Devil. There's a whole description. Maybe they don't really age it. Yeah, 17.3% ABV.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. John, when you were talking about the ginger and the spices, do you remember the Samuel Adams Holiday Stout? It was in an oversized bottle. It was like 16 or 20 ounce bottle.
What, Samuel Adams or Samuel Smith?
It was Samuel Adams. It was
Samuel
Adams. It was a Samuel Adams special holiday edition. I don't know how many. It was at least 10 years ago.
It was from that collection, John. That remember?
I had hold on now. So I had the midnight stout or the 13th hour.
No, it wasn't that.
That's what Michael's talking about, the barrel room collection. So this is a separate. Yeah, it's a barrel aged.
Separate. It was different than the other Sam Adams stuff. Okay. But it was like it was in an oversized bottle.
Was it a barrel aged stout or was just?
I don't remember if it was barrel aged, but it was like a special edition holiday stout.
I never had that. You got to remember,
it had to be at least 10 years ago.
Okay, I would have been 27. So I would have been well on my drinking journey, and by then. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. The only thing that really rings a bell with this, or that I remember from Sam Adams that is a travesty that they don't make them anymore, is the Barrel Room Collection. You had the Stony Brook Red, you had the 13th Hour, which was the stout that might, kind of like a sour stout, and then you had the
I think I have a 13th Hour.
13th Hour, yeah. But they're all of those beers were special because they used the Cosmic Mother Funk yeast, is what they called it. So the yeast, kind of like a sour Belgian style yeast. So they put it in their stout. They put it in the red ale that they had. What was the other one that they did?
Hang on. I'll be back in a second.
It's so long. But yeah, those were fantastic beers. But I've never had just like the Samuel Adams Imperial Stout that you speak of. That sounds fantastic, though. He's probably going to the cellar to find. He's like, I got one from 15 years ago. Dust it off here.
John, I was going to mention, and I know you remember some of this. Do you remember the old times at the beginning with the Bourbon County when they had the straight barley wine before the wheat wine? When they just had straight barley wine.
Yeah.
Those were amazing. The wheat wine I never found to be as good as the original barley wine from Bourbon County, even though the wheat wine was good. It just wasn't great.
Yeah, I've had the wheat wine from Bourbon County, the 2015 Yellow Label wheat wine. I thought it was a 98.99 out of 100. I bought a bottle down in New Orleans when I went to visit Jay years ago. I thought it was fantastic. The barley wine, the caramel apple barley wine, I never got to try that, but I've heard good things from Alex. Says it's amazing. So it's got to be great. I've never had that one, though. I don't think Jay or I don't think any of my other beer review people have actually tried that one. Josh, is it your birthday today?
No, it's not
Next
till
week.
Monday. Monday is my actual birthday.
Monday. Okay. Well, happy
birthday in advance.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Elbows in the chat, and he says happy
Yeah, I seen
birthday.
that. Yeah,
So
appreciate
I wanted to make sure it wasn't your actual birthday. I'm like, Jesus, what are you doing here if it's your actual birthday? You could do so much better.
Not till Monday. My dad's birthday is tomorrow. You got Mother's Day on Sunday, and it's my birthday on Monday. So, yeah.
So we'll get So we'll get back into. Let's go back around, and I don't want to get too carried away. We're doing good on time. We'll try to keep it at an hour or less. But I do want to say, and this is just a random shout out. And my brother, he doesn't need to be named or anything, but today's a really special day for me because my brother 7 or 8 months ago was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he's been going through treatments and everything, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's been dealing with his chemo, his radiation, all of that. And he stopped 3 or 4 weeks ago with his treatment. And then today was his day where he went in to get his PET scan to see if the cancer was gone. And my brother is officially my baby brother. I'm the oldest of three. My baby brother is officially in remission of lymphoma, so he's cancer free. So I just wanted to. I know it's not relevant to what we're doing tonight.
That's cool.
John, that's terrific.
So cheers to my younger brother, and he's got a 1-year-old and a new wife, and he's got his whole life ahead of him, and he's cancer free now. So
cheers to him.
Awesome. So anyway.
For sure.
I just wanted to, just mention that it's a good day. So let's go back around while we're at it and talk about these crazy beers that we're drinking. I think we're going to start back with Ian because he started us off with his what was it? The Lost Abbey Angel Share at 12.5%. What are you thinking? Final thoughts? You got a number rating? What do you think?
It's very good. It's very drinkable. It's
Is it flat? It doesn't look like it. Does it have carbonation?
It has like zero carbonation.
So okay, I was curious. I don't. We may have covered that earlier, but
yeah. I mean, it poured with zero carbonation, and when I poured it again, it had zero carbonation. But that doesn't really bother me. I don't mind
the beer style. You don't need it.
That has low carbonation. So, I don't drink a lot of soda anymore, so it doesn't bother me. But this, I would say I would give this. I want to if I'm going to give it a rating, I'm going to say 97.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's great.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But definitely has room for improvement. I would say, if it was, I mean, the maltiness is good. You definitely have the roasted malts in there, but
Sammy, that's funny you talk about that. My bottle shop is getting that same exact bottle on Monday. So
Anchorage.
cheers.
Oh, a deal with the devil. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have never seen any Anchorage stuff in my area because they're from Alaska, right? Anchorage.
Yeah.
Alaska.
Right
Yeah.
from Alaska.
Yeah, I've never been able to find any of their beers here. So good for you guys.
I'm very blessed. Which is actually one of their names of the beers that I have in the fridge. Blessed.
Nice. So, all right. So a 97 out of 100. That's so that's in my rating system. I know, you're rating beers. I mean, it's still, 97 is no doubt an excellent beer. For me, 97 will be like 1 point away from like world class. That's how good it is. So, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty high up there. You've only got 3 more points before you get to a perfect score of 100, if that's how you're rating your beers, which I'm assuming as a logical human being, you're looking at a 0 to 100 scale. So that's fantastic. That's great, Ian. You did say 97, right? I'm not just okay.
Yeah.
Would you, if there was anything you could change about the beer, what would it be? Would it be the carbonation, or or would it be the barrel presence, or nothing? I mean,
Maybe a little more barrel presence. Maybe a little bit more barrel presence.
Okay.
It's there, but it's not. It's like you taste it in the booziness, but not necessarily in any sort of bourbon flavor.
Okay. So
you know what I mean.
You get the alcohol, but you don't get as much bourbon. That makes sense. You don't mind the alcohol as long as it's like bourbon oriented and not just like straight boozy character.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a 97 out of 100. That's a good start to the evening. I want to go back to Michael here with his Tree of Fortitude. What are you thinking, Michael?
Okay. I did have, like I said, an original head, which did a fast fade and went away. I would call the carbonation in this low carbonation, though, because it's not barley wines. I don't think generally have high carbonation.
No, not usually. But you want a little bit, I guess, so it doesn't have like a flatness on the tongue. You want like a little bit of something.
I have another question. My low battery just came up on my phone.
Oh dear.
How long can you talk with 20% before it'll completely?
We'll be okay through the stream. You can always plug your phone up if you have a charger nearby. But you probably got 20 minutes to half an hour.
Okay, which is all would probably stay on anyway, right?
Yeah. You should be okay.
See, I didn't know I was going to be using my phone.
But Michael, we learned something tonight. Your computer.
Okay. All right, and like I said, the next time we do this,
I'm gonna
use the iPad instead.
We'll have to get you new. We'll do a GoFundMe for Michael.
No, it's no problem. Look, I may have to upgrade my my computer, but I have an iPad. I can use the iPad.
The iPad will work great.
iPad should work well.
The iPads are good. So what do you? Okay, so back to your beer, Michael.
The carbonation is low. As it's warming, I'm getting more of the coconut.
What about the lime? Is the lime there at all, or not?
I'm getting the lime, but the lime is more subtle. But it's there, and it does make that combination where you have the lime together with the other flavors. So that part is good. You're still getting the rum, but like I said on my original thing, if I didn't know that it was rum barrel aged, I wouldn't have gotten that from the nose, but I did get it from the initial taste, I think, more than anything else. That it's not bourbon barrel, it's rum barrel aged. But this is amazing because, like Josh's, the alcohol is really well masked. And I think it's in the same range that he's saying, 7.5%, 8%. But mine's only 11. Mine's not 13. But it's less and it's excellent.
All right, so
Are you ready for my?
yeah, like drum roll. Let's get what's the number?
Okay.
Michael?
Okay, I'm going to give it a 98, which is my second highest score that I could give it. And the only reason that I'm not giving it a 99 is because I almost feel like I always look for something more. I don't know if that's being fair to it. Maybe it's, I don't know. So maybe a little bit more edge to it, but it's an excellent barley wine.
Now you've given some bourbon counties and some other beers 99s before, which is like your 100. So the docking, the 1 point drop, is that because you had a barley wine that you can think of off the top of your head that you like better than that one, or is that
the only one I can think of, and it's been so long, and they don't make it anymore, was one of those Bourbon County barley wines. Before they went to the, the other ones which they replaced it with.
Probably.
But we're talking about 10 years ago.
Right. Yeah, 2015. I remember the wheat wine. It was a yellow label. That was the best. It may be the same one you're thinking of, which is barley wine.
But it was definitely something I gave a 99 to. Yeah. And it was shockingly good.
All right.
No, John.
Well, I'm so glad that you enjoyed that one, Michael. 98. I'm happy with that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, I don't work for Treehouse or anything, so it doesn't really matter what I think. I mean,
he's sponsored by Treehouse now.
I like the fact that Michael, appreciate. Like I brought him a bunch of Treehouse beer when I went to visit him in New York because he can't get it down there or hasn't had it before. And not Treehouse is just such an overlooked. Like, because they don't distro. So if you haven't had the beers, like, a lot of people tend to hate on Treehouse. But if you're somebody like me who gets Treehouse all the time, you're like, wow, this is really good. More people should have this beer. I think the hate comes from the disappointment of the distribution and the lack that they can't get it. And they just hate on the brand. But the quality of the beer is fantastic, in my opinion. You can't, if you're hating on Treehouse, it's not because you dislike their beer. It's probably because you can't get it and you're just pissed that you hate on it.
Just like Troon.
I don't know.
Just like Troon out of New Jersey.
What's that?
Have you ever had Troon out of New Jersey? They're probably one of the most hyped breweries.
Oh, really? No, never had.
Yeah, Troon. They only do most every time they post, it's already sold out on their Instagram.
Oh, really?
They're like a small facility in New Jersey. I think Alex is close to them.
Probably.
I know people in the UK have paid over $100 for a crowler or some of their stuff. I know they're pricey to begin with, but
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was it in New Jersey?
Troon Brewing.
Is it Trune? Troon?
TROON.
OON. Troon. Okay.
Yeah, Troon. Yeah. So they do like a lot of like black metal type. Same with like Brewhouse. So Brewhouse is another hyped brewery out of Oregon.
I know where Troon Brewery is. I've eaten it. I actually know.
Have you had Troon?
Yeah, I've driven past there 1,000 times because it's on my commute to work. It was on my commute to the old office.
They're very hard to come by. People sell.
Yeah. I know exactly where that place is. I've been. It's funny. They have a Sourland Spirits. It's that whole area. That whole there's a tavern / farm to table restaurant on the same site, and they also have Sourland Mountain Spirits on the same site. So I actually have some of their whiskeys at home here.
Yeah, it's a very small niche brewery, and they only put it's a very small batch, so they only
I haven't been to them. I haven't tried it.
Yeah. Like I said, they're kind of
an hour. They're less than an hour away from me.
Yeah, I forgot what. Yeah. But I've had a few of their stuff, Crowler forums. People have got some of their stuff, but yeah, they're very hard to come by. But yeah. This is my turn now. So Hermit Thrush.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
This one's weird. Like I said, maybe it's sat a little bit too long, but then again, it is a sour barley wine, which is interesting. It drinks more like a traditional sour. I don't really get any of those notes of like toffee or tobacco.
This will be interesting because do you rate it as an overall like enjoyability thing, or do you rate it as the barley wine style, and do you knock it because
that's what I'm trying to. So
right.
See, now I'm getting a little bit of that, a little bit more of that sweetness, like toffee type.
Kind of meet somewhere in the middle, because you hate to rate a really good beer, drop it so low because of the style. If it's a delicious beer, then
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, so I mean, stylistically,
it fails.
Yeah, so like I don't know how many breweries really do sour barley wines, but it's not like a real style. Yeah, so grading it on, I guess I have to give it a score, I guess, overall, because it's just kind of a weird.
I would go. So when in doubt, the way that I don't know, the best advice I can give you is when in doubt, just go with your heart. What do you think? If it's a good beer, give it a good rating, regardless of whether or not you feel like it falls in the traditional style guidelines. But you can give it 2 ratings. You can say I give it an A because I love it, but for the style, I give it a whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you want to
Yeah,
break
because
it down
there's really
like
no
that.
aspects of barley wine type. I mean, like I guess now that it's warming up a little bit, I'm maybe getting a little more of that.
More of the
toffee.
caramel.
Yeah. I mean, it's still very tart.
So, like, if sour barley wine was a style, it would be like top notch. It sounds like, based off of what you're saying, yeah.
And then kind of get into that aspect of the price point too. Like I said, it was pricey. Like I said, $12 for a 16-ounce can. That's pretty expensive.
Not terrible, yes, compared to.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but
seen a lot worse price points to that.
So I guess overall, like, it's an enjoyable beer. Like I said, it doesn't drink anywhere near close to 13%. There's no alcohol like burn or anything like that. Definitely get the sour aspect. Get those red and white wine barrels in there for sure. Get those fruity notes. There's really not too much sweetness. Like I said, as it kind of warms up a little bit, you kind of get that toffee type vibe to it. But I mean, overall, it's a good beer. Score wise, so I do mine out of 100. I mean, I'll give it a solid 94 out of 100, just with overall aspects, price point, style, whatever this kind of style is. Like I said, I don't know how many breweries do sour barley wines, but
right.
I mean, it's an enjoyable beer. It's not, it's not like, oh, this is terrible. But I feel like unless you don't like real tart and dry finish, you probably wouldn't like this beer, because it is definitely very tart from the first initial sip. And I mean, maybe age could have played a factor in it, because people were saying they were getting coffee notes and whatever else. But I didn't get any of that. So, yeah, I mean, R.I.P. to Hermit Thrush. Like I said, they're not around anymore. They're
nice.
They definitely put out some interesting stuff, style wise, for sure, that I've seen in past years. But yeah,
nice.
94.
Right.
So, cheers.
94. So we got Michael's 98. We're at a 94. Ian, what do you think about the this Abbey Lost Abbey Angel share?
You know, I mean, thinking about I would probably revise that score down to probably like a 95.
Okay.
Okay.
In that wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's good, but yeah, definitely. You know, I've had better barrel aged beers. So
Yeah.
Would you buy it again?
What,
I'd definitely buy it again.
do you think the age has anything to do with it? That one's relatively fresh, or that one's an older bottle?
Honestly, I don't know. I forgot to. I didn't. I am very bad about dating things or writing the date on bottles when
Yeah,
I
they
buy them.
probably
I'll stick them in my
haven't.
basement where they can often sit for years on end.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So
Especially if they're large bottles, this is a recipe for me buying a bottle and having it sit for a very long time.
that is one of my
forever.
favorite. I love that beer. I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
Yeah, and I have 2 of these bottles downstairs. This one and another one.
Yeah, bring back big format bottles. That's the thing.
But yeah, but they tend for me they tend to be like a recipe for aging because I don't drink a lot, so
Yeah, I got.
so it's like so for me to open up one of these, I tend to want to do it when I'm going to be drinking it with somebody, and that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I still have that 2015 Firestone anniversary that I haven't cracked open. But
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have a shelf full of 22-ounce bottles of various styles of beer from Kane Brewing, the Chamonix Creek, and there are a bunch of beers from with wax all over them.
So Ian, I'm sorry, I stepped.
Mhm.
What was your rating?
95.
95. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and give my rating. We'll wrap it up here because we're going on an hour. I want to close it out and then we can talk off air. But so I've got the where is it? Ginger Spice Barrel of Nice from Founders. The more I sip on it, the more disappointed I am. Maybe it'll age better. I think the spices completely override the barrel presence with the beer. The fact, I mean, I don't typically care about appearance. It doesn't affect like if I was blind, I wouldn't know, but having to look at a beer under light and it's like a snow globe like this, like, I mean, it's not a very appetizing looking beer. Color's fine and everything, but if they filtered out that shit in there, I mean, it didn't look like a goddamn snow globe, but I'm oh man, this is gonna be, people are not gonna like this. I'm gonna go with an 87.
Wow.
Which is like a B going towards B plus, but I can't give it an A rating because, like, as a barley wine, it doesn't have enough barley wine qualities. As a bourbon barrel aged barley wine, I want a lot more bourbon barrel, a lot more oaky qualities, a lot more caramel, toffee, vanilla, and all I taste is like stale gingerbread cookies, cinnamon, clove. It's not a bad beer. I'm hating on it because I know what a barley wine can be. A barrel like what Michael has tonight. I've had the Tree of Fortitude. I've had the creme de la creme, the best of the best, as far as I'm concerned, with barley wines. And this barley wine does not hold mustard to the to the Treehouse barley wines that I've had, to the Trillium. I've had some Trillium stuff that's really amazing. Kettlehead. There's about 50 different New England breweries alone that I've had up here that had made better barley wines than found this particular Founders beer. Now Founders makes some great barrel aged stuff. I'm not hating on them, but I didn't like the fact that there was so much sediment in it. It didn't affect the flavor profile, but it was a little off putting. But yeah, the spice notes were the star of the show, whereas it's a bourbon barrel aged barley wine. I want to taste the barley wine, the dark fruit, the toffee, caramel, vanilla, and then I want to taste oak, and I want to taste I want to taste that bourbon. I didn't get any of that. It was just kind of like, I mean, not that I didn't not get any of it, but it was disappointing. I wanted more of it. It left me wanting more. So 87. So a B, it's good, but and for $18 for a 4-pack, it's not a bad value at 12.8%. I mean, you're getting a lot of alcohol and everything, but you could do better. If you're a craft beer enthusiast like myself and everybody here on this panel, you could buy some great barley wines. You could buy the Sierra Bigfoot, which is not even barrel aged. And you might like that better, or let it age for a few years and you end up with a better barley wine than what I had today for about the same price. So anyway, that's my spiel. That's my rant.
Seems to be kind of a.
I like
I
more.
would say that seems to be kind of a founder's thing where they like to do they like to go crazy with the flavors.
Yeah,
They do a lot
lately
of
they
that.
have.
I've got a whole shelf full of them downstairs. So.
Yeah. It's not a bad beer in the least, and honestly, maybe if you aged it for a while, some of the additives would fade, and the bourbon barrel would come through more, and it would improve.
Possible.
I found that with some like older KBS bottles that I've had, like my good buddy Shane Fudge gave me a 2015 KBS bottle, and I drank it in 2020 or 2021, and by then all the coffee had faded, and it just tasted like a bourbon county. I mean, it tasted like a straight bourbon barrel aged stout. It was fantastic. So it got better with age. Maybe this would be a barley wine that gets better with age. But, I mean, should you really have to buy a barley wine knowing that you have all these additives that you're just waiting to fade out to get the ideal drinking experience? Is that what you're looking for? Like, you could do better than that. But, yeah, I mean, it's – oh, boy. So yeah, I don't know.
You've seen pictures.
It's a good beer, though. I'm not gonna hate on it. It's just they could have maybe emphasized the barrel a little bit more, and it would have been a little bit more to my liking. But anyway, so yeah, so what I say, 87. So I think I had the lowest rating of the night actually, which is sad. But
It happens. Call how you see it.
anybody, we're going on an hour now, so I'll go around one more time. If anybody has any final thoughts, comments, or quick shout outs, we can do that. But I'd like to keep it, within the hour or so. So anybody, Michael or Ian or Josh, you got anything?
I am now plugged into a charger, and all I have to do is turn out my light because right now the light's coming from behind me. Once we go up.
Okay.
Josh, this is the first time I've ever done this from an iPhone because I had a computer.
It's the best connection you've had. It's great.
My connection couldn't pick up with StreamYard.
You're so close to the camera. It looks like you need help or something like that. Like you're reaching trying to find.
And I'm standing up right
Save me.
All right, I'm going to give one quick shout out. I bought a 12-pack of the Genesee Ruby Red Gulch. They had it at Wegmans. Never been able to get any Genesee specialty beers in my area, but I bought this. Was very happy with it.
Yeah.
Also, I have a 2018 bottle of Bourbon County in the fridge. I got a 2024 bottle and a 2022 bottle. I'm still on the lookout for the Black Ops. I know we were talking about doing that. So I'm going to try to find a bottle of the Brooklyn Black Ops.
I've got a 2013 bottle downstairs.
I know you guys already have your bottles. I'm trying to get a bottle. That's a problem. I'm
Josh, have you ever been to other half Washington D.C.?
I have, yeah. It's been a couple of years, but yeah.
But isn't it kind of cool? I've never been there. I've heard.
Yeah, it's a big facility. It's down near like Navy Yard area, but yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I've been to the Philly location too, so.
The only one I've ever been to is the one that's right by my house, a half mile away. I took John there when he was here.
Yeah, the Brooklyn one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which was their original.
Yeah. They got all kinds.
There's three other ones in New York City as well. Rockefeller Center, Domino Sugar, and there's another one here too.
Finger Lakes, I think, right?
Upstate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good facility. Other half. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. They used to have the brewery used to be up in DC as well too. But anytime I go back up to Philly, I always hit up Human Robot, which is really good. And Monk's Cafe obviously is a staple. If you like a lot of like
So
mix and
all
stuff
right.
like that.
We're going on hour 5. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream. We can hang out off air if you want, but want to thank Mr. Ian Furkeron, Michael Komarov. We got Josh Abrams down there. We've got DC, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, like the best of the best, right? We're all here hanging out, having a good time. Or Virginia, I say DC, Virginia,
Thanks for having me.
whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for joining tonight. Thank you everybody in the chat. We've got Australia, we've got the UK, we've got Texas, Arkansas, a lot of people in the chat. Thank you guys in the chat for joining and commenting. We wouldn't be here without you. We appreciate your comments and hanging out with us this evening. But yeah, another successful examination. We did some barrel-aged barley wines. It sounds like, for the most part, we had a pretty good evening. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll wrap it up there. We'll see you soon in the next couple of weeks. We're planning on doing something, either barrel-aged or, I don't know, imperial of some kind, stout, barley wine, you name it. We'll figure it out. But until then, cheers to everybody out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there this weekend. And cheers. We'll see you on the next one. And
bye,
raise a
everybody.
glass. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.